Hello, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours with your host, stycksintern. Thank you all for sticking out with me tonight. I hope you stick around for the whole show, and I hope you act like a stick in the mud and drop lots of really engaging comments in the chat. Yeah, Bellow Green Giant out here banging his head to the intro beat. Only the real ones know that that's from the DFK love song, the Ode to DFK. Only the real ones know. Good to see you all. Thank you all for showing up early. I got to tell you, today's been a really hectic day for me personally. I had just a lot going on, and I got home with In-N-Out, which is a burger place for those of you not from around here, at 6:50 basically. Ate it, changed out of my work clothes, and now I'm here talking to you, and I'm ready to go. And I'm really excited because this is the first relaxing thing I'm gonna be doing today. Even though it's like pressure, right? I got stuff to present. And I haven't even like prepared anything. I have none of my tabs open. So you're gonna get just raw look at my sort of research put together content process here, which I'm not saying is gonna be pretty. I'm just saying that's what you're gonna get. Okay. Beeve, I'm really glad that you stayed awake and that you made it. Really glad to see you here, man. My social media captain. Worm out here. Nice. Oh, the GFK is a stick in my brain. Mellow Green Giant, I will help you with that stick because I am going to remaster that song. I've learned some new tricks. And I'm going back to some of my old songs. Also, shout out ALP. Your song is on my list for a remaster because it's like far and away the most well-received piece of music I've ever made, just from having, seeing other people's reactions to your stream gets me really hyped seeing that. I'm really glad. So I'm going to remaster that one. Don't worry. I won't make it worse. It'll only make it better. All right. So tonight I got a bunch of things to talk about. First one I wanted to talk about is the DFK governance proposal to Klaytn. I kind of wanted to do a deep dive analysis of what's going on in this governance proposal, and not because I think not because I think it's a huge deal, right? I think a lot of people are saying it's this, oh my god, really big deal. It says so much. The fact that they're asking for money, or the fact that they've set their milestones as such, readily achievable, I guess, objectives is the word I'm looking for. So I want to just kind of address some of that, but I'm blowing it right now because I can't find the link. See, so this is it. This is it right here. Oh, I found it. There we go. All right, and we're live. So here is the initial kind of post that's on the forum, and then the full proposal is at this Google Doc linked within. So this has been a fairly active proposal. It's got 623 views, only 10 replies though. So here's a reply that I saw when I was checking it out the other day, right? This seems like a very well thought out response, to be honest. It's formatted well. Though the milestones are clear, I believe more stringent evaluation of projected ROI, including potential risks, is necessary, as the $1.5 million incentive is a substantial amount, right? So that's something we've seen people in the community talk about, and be like, hey, are we in need of money here? Do we have no runway here? Is the team gonna die here? I don't think, really, just to preface my analysis there, I don't think that's something to be really concerned about. The 1.5 million. I think, ultimately in the end, I'm going to land on something like this. In my opinion, this is the worst case scenario. What iOS, or Mellow Green Giant, is bringing up here, iOS code. He says the biggest thing that scares me is the thought that no grant is agreed upon, and the team spends 3 months moving Serendale instead of making new features, or on new features, as he said there. And that is, I think, a valid concern. That is a valid concern. But we'll get into that a little more once we dive into the proposal itself. Before I do that, though, so this is something research I haven't done yet, but I'm just curious because I thought about it as I was coming home right now. Is are there other Klaytn's governance proposals for grants? So if I look at this one, this is in the Klaytn Community Fund Grant Program Pilot. And so I know that Optimism, if any of you are familiar with that Ethereum Layer 2 chain, when they had a big kind of launch rollout extravaganza last year, they had projects that were on their chain had to apply to receive OP tokens that those projects could then give to their communities. And it was a whole process. People wrote very detailed governance proposals, exactly like the one we see from DFK in this situation. And it wasn't weird for any of them because all of them want funding, right? Name me a startup that doesn't want more funding, especially when it could be like a pretty hefty amount, and it's in exchange for services you were planning to do pretty much anyway, right? That is the dream, to get funding for that basis. Like, oh, I don't have to give away equity. I don't have to let someone else own a portion of my company and have decision-making power. I can get a grant. That is awesome. We love grants. Just as any person in the world, grants are the most awesome kind of fundraising you can get because they typically have the least strings attached. And so what I wanted to check out here in this Klaytn's governance forum is they have a whole section on community funded grants. And this appears to be a relatively new thing. Activity for 17 days on the oldest one, it looks like. This is about the program. Okay. Open to Clay holders, including the foundation, governance council, community. Anyone can post proposals to receive a grant from the Klaytn Community Fund. Anyone. You could do it. Maybe Mythic Squad should do it. We make content for Klaytn viewers. I mean, I highly doubt it's localized. We might need to hire someone to do that, but maybe that could be our milestone. Mythic Squad. What's up? We got to do that. So this is what Klaytn is doing, though. So Klaytn is inviting people to ask for money. So that's important context as we're going around. People are like, hey, what's with this timing? Is DFK in a bad position? Well, no, I don't think so. I think they are just responding to an opportunity to ask for grant money. That's good. I'm glad that they were aware of it and jumping on it. Now let's dive into the governance proposal itself. So, yikes, I had to zoom this in pretty far to make it legible for you all. And maybe we can get rid of the outline here. That might make it better. Yes. Okay. So we start here. The Kingdom Studios, the developer behind DeFi Kingdoms, and so that's an important distinction. That means the money is going to the team. It's not going to be airdropped to you necessarily. So they're submitting a request to the Klaytn Governance Council to build fund blah blah blah. $1.5 million is the big number in order to secure the continued development of the DeFi Kingdoms Serendale realm exclusively on Klaytn for the next 12 months. All right, stop there. First paragraph. One sentence, really. It's quite a potent sentence. So that word exclusively, that's what's hanging me up. That's what's hanging iOS code up down here with this comment below. He's scared, and I am too. Not scared, maybe is the wrong word. Nervous. Nervous is probably a better word. That this, exclusively could mean that DeFi Kingdoms is going to up and abandon Klaytn if they don't agree to give them all of this money. Oh, man. You mean I have to go through 2022 all over again? Waiting for updates? Hearing promises about, whatever cool selling point feature new chain has? Only to be disappointed that selling point feature also means I can only quest 5 heroes at a time instead of 6 and things like that. What's up with that? All right. I don't want to do that again. Neither does Mellow Green Giant, and I get it. But there is a different interpretation of exclusively that they could also kind of be implying here. What if instead of replacing Klaytn, as we did with Harmony, what if the response to not receiving a grant was not to abandon Klaytn, as Ogre is now saying here? What if the exclusively language just means, hey, we might build a copy of Serendale somewhere else? Now, I think, there's going to be a lot of mixed reaction to that as well, that idea might have its own kind of problems. But I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily mean, because they're using the word exclusively, that they are threatening to up and leave. That could be an implied subtext, but you might make a subtextual threat when you're just trying to kind of get your counterparty to realize what it is that they're really doing to you. It's something you do when, they just need a kick in the pants and then they'll figure it out. So that's just one thing I'm thinking of, is because it exclusively doesn't... Denying exclusivity to one chain does not necessarily mean giving it to another one. So that's just the nuance I wanted to add there with exclusively. But otherwise, I do agree, going back up, because I loved this comment so much, I can favorite it. Nice. Yeah, this is, in fact, going to be like the conclusion of this segment of the episode. Not right now in time, but when we get there. The biggest thing that scares me is the thought that there's no agreement, or, a bitter kind of relationship result, and the team has to leave for some reason. But, my gut also tells me that Ogre here is right. They've just spent a year and a half building out Klaytn, so that may be an empty threat. Or maybe the community reading too much into legal jargon, right? Maybe they didn't mean to load exclusively. Maybe they just wanted to remind them that it is exclusive. All right. Second paragraph. We are now done with the first paragraph. This is the level of analysis that you get with stycksintern. DeFi Kingdoms represents a staggering 20% of all transactions and 60%, that is more than half of the gas usage on the Klaytn blockchain. We'll stop there. We don't have to go past the comma. This is already wild. So there's a lot to unpack here, because how is DFK only doing 1/5 of all of the transactions, but spending 3/5 of all of the gas? That means, I interpret that to mean, I'm just guessing here, that means DFK's transactions are more data heavy, which I would believe. There's a lot of data in each of these transactions where we're figuring out, what stats a hero has, whether those stats apply to the quest, whether the hero has that quest as their main profession gene, what rewards they get, the dice rolls for all of these various things. So I can see they're gas-intensive transactions. But is there anything Klaytn could be doing to help mitigate that? Maybe improve the experience for DeFi Kingdoms users? Because now we'll move past the comma. Even though only 10% of DeFi Kingdoms transactions are performed on Klaytn. What? Guys, that means of all of DeFi Kingdoms, for every 10 heroes, just, taking them as an average, 9 of them are in DFK chain Crystal Vale, and 1 is in Klaytn. And even with that ratio, DFK is doing 60% of all of the gas usage on Klaytn. If they made it marginally better on Klaytn, to where if you could double that at 20%, that would still be a really low number. And I imagine that the gas on Klaytn that Klaytn validators received would go up quite a bit. And as they say here, this provides an opportunity for rapid growth. All right, wait, there's active chat. I'm going to go crazy here and read all of you before I move on. Yeah, word on that. Feel that. It needs to be, more importantly than just 6 hero parties and plus 30 stamina runs, it needs to be a consistent game experience on both sides. If I just have a better, smoother experience on DFK chain because I'm able to do more, like you're saying here with the 6 hero parties, and be able to do 30 plus stamina runs, why would I have a level 10 plus hero on Klaytn if I'm forced to quest them inefficiently. So this is something that like we need some kind of structural improvement here. I get it. I get it. Have I considered not shitcoining? No. I also hope not, Beeve. I highly doubt anything was inserted at Klaytn's request. This seems like a negotiation opening. So I just like just that first part there, but yeah, I don't know. I get you. And plans can change across a few weeks. We know that, but I do agree. Klaytn should be a long-term relationship, and like we want to be in that market. Think about it. That's a big market where Klaytn is in Korea. That is huge for gaming. We don't want to shut any doors there on that basis as well. Swaps on the DEX. Yep. There are a lot of those, I would imagine. Yeah, especially with arbitrage, right? Yep. What in the world even is this? Y'all trying to make money from what? Yeah, man. I don't know where you're coming from, but I'm loving the engagement. How do you think this lasts? My God. Well, this is a governance proposal. This is not supposed to last very long. This is supposed to be voted up or down relatively soon by the people who are doing it. I don't know. Your questions make me feel like you are not paying attention. Ooh. DeFi is a joke. What is even the point? Oh, I love the trolls. Wow, this is my first time having a troll in the chat, guys. I love it. It gets me fired up. Oh, probably ruins the show, though, because I just get so distracted. All right. Nice. Okay, well, I see you're all on the same page. So we'll just leave this here. We'll pin this one. DeFi is a joke. What is even the point? Man, can I get a more capitulating statement than that? The guy knows about DeFi, still thinks it's a joke. It's sad to see. Oh my God. Yeah, this fucking AOL dial-up internet thing is such a fucking joke. I gotta tell you, man, it's never gonna do anything less useful than the fax machine. All right, so this is just some fluff, blah, blah, blah. We skipped that part. Background. So here is where DFK is really just bragging about everything they've done since December 8th, 2022. And, that's only 8 months ago, guys, with 9 months. There's 3/4 of a year. Let's see how far we've made it in just 3/4 of a year. In that time, we've completed a migration from the Harmony blockchain. And we are now operating 2 realms of 4 that will ever exist. And so, just as an aside here, this is one of the other things that makes me think exclusivity to a single chain might not always be a thing in the future, because it might get to a point where we are at that 4 realm limit, but there's a reason that we need to expand to another chain. And then what happens? We're not going to add a 5th. That would be a huge wrench in everything. Or maybe they would. There's a lot of different ways to handle it. Abandoning exclusivity is another option. I'm not saying it's going to be the option. I'm not even saying I think it's going to be the option. I'm just saying it is an option that you all should consider. Moving on. As part of the original agreement, we launched a V2 Uniswap DEX, a new exclusive Klaytn Power token called Jade, 4 hero NFT classes designed for the Korean market. And just, for anyone keeping track, that is the Legionnaire, the Scholar, the Bard, and the Spellbow that were launched with Klaytn. 3 separate NFT marketplaces. And so that, I assume, has to be... That one I don't really understand, is the 3 marketplaces. What is that about? Is that the renting market, and then the buying market, and then also the pet market? I think I just answered it. I think that is the answer. Yeah, okay. And brought Serendale to feature parity, which was a hefty lift. And if I just, go back to my favorite comment up here, we don't want to go through that again, guys. At least not yet. Still got some PTSD going on. It's bad. It's not good. Ugh. And then the thing that we all know Frisky Fox is most proud of, the DFK Duels minigame. So Kingdom Studios has brought a lot to Klaytn. In the 7 months, so this is, I think, current as of sometime in July, so I could debate the counting formula there, probably 7 or 8 months. We have also we, DFK, Kingdom Studios, took the burden of translating their platform into a native Korean localization. They've integrated what is my understanding one of the most popular wallets on Klaytn, the Kykos wallet, and several bridges. So they've brought Synapse, they've brought Layer Zero, they've made Klaytn, they've put Klaytn on the map for these important infrastructure protocols that may not have otherwise decided to go to Klaytn before other chains. So that actually, this sounds like something like, oh, who gives a shit? But like, this is what the value of a really good relationship partner is they don't just give you stuff, they give you other relationships that help you with your business. And so this one cannot be understated in my book, in my opinion. And in that time, they've deployed nearly 300 smart contracts. Oh, absurd to imagine. Thank goodness for AI. Am I right, Frisky Fox? Am I right, buddy? Yeah. All right. Look at this. The next highest. Wow, they even undersold it. DFK was doing 64% of the gas, 64.3. That is almost 2/3. It's absurd. The next highest is doing less than 20% of what DeFi Kingdoms is doing. I don't know what proof of walk is. It sounds like Steppen, if I had to guess. Right? Kind of similar. Go around, walk outside, prove it, get token. And I remember Steppen was pretty popping on Solana. So I assume that's what that is. Maybe it means something different. I don't know. So anyone know? Can anyone here tell me really quick the total liquidity on Klaytn? I'm gonna give you some time to answer that, and I'm gonna run through the comments here. Kupo. Oh, totally agree with everything you're saying here, Kupo. For those of you listening and not watching, Kupo says if gas was better on Klaytn, there would be a surplus of more transactions coming in on that chain, and big and it would help to alleviate the stress on DFK chain. 100 pennies value more than 10 nickels. Wow. Deep. I love it. And I love that last comment. 100 pennies are valued more than 10 nickels. Hey, you got to set your pricing to where you're not going to be stuck in that 10 nickels situation where you're pricing yourself out of the market. Is that if you can get the 100 pennies for it and your costs are the same, you'd rather have that 100 pennies. You know what I'm saying? You get me? That's how it works. Oh yeah. Well, thank you, Beef. Oh, making my bloater blush. Oh yeah, Bazaar is a market, but that's not an NFT market. Was why I wasn't saying it, and also it's not yet on Serendale, as we will get to in a moment. I actually think Bob Nothing has the right of it here. Heroes Pet and Land, which I had forgotten about. Land, because I'm not a landowner, and I try to repress thoughts that make me sad, like the fact that I don't own land. Oh, Klaytn TVL is 120. Yes, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you. So this is all right. Thank you so much, Ogre. So going back to this, that means this 16.5 million in liquidity that DFK brought is greater than 10%. That's just some, I know that I could get more precise with that, but they brought more than 1/10 of the liquidity onto Klaytn. And recall, like, if we have most of the heroes questing on DFK chain, I'm betting we have a lot more Gardens liquidity there, proportionally speaking, than Klaytn. So if we were to, improve the questing experience, that might have a direct impact on TVL, because people might be willing to migrate their Gardens to Klaytn. And like, TVL is the vanity metric that all of these chains love. It's TVL and total transactions. Those are the two vanity metrics that chains use to market themselves when looking for money. Because guess what, guys? Not just DK looks for money. All of these people look for money nearly constantly. And part of that is because hardly any blockchain runs a profitable enterprise. Anyway, just so excited about it. Thank you once again, Ogre. Shout out. Shout out. All right, so now that's the past. We're done with the past. We're over that. We don't like that anymore. Now we're talking about the future, next 12 months. We're looking forward to continued development, deepening our relationships. Harken back to what Ogre said above. Exclusivity is not a threat, it is a reminder of an awesome promise. All right? And we will be actively developing and launching a variety of exciting new features, including our initial player versus player and player versus environment, aka PvP and PvE, respectively, combat offerings, unique hero equipment NFTs that will fully integrate with the combat system. Woo, we're talking about stacking many NFTs on top of each other, having them read by a Web2 style database, then sending info back to the chain to record who won. Yeah, I'm all about that. And a hero travel system with, finally, utility for what Bob reminded me of, the land NFTs that are currently, I think there was one on the market for, I don't know, I'm just really rough estimate here. It seemed like between 12, 15 grand that it was on the market. Man, I wish I could just cough up and just be like, yep, I'm going to just buy this one NFT for that. But I can't yet. We'll get there. And then, and expeditions, which is something we've been on the lookout for a while now. Very excited for those. Very excited. Each of these will drive player engagement, transactions, marketing, collaboration, and not listed here, probably TVL. Probably TVL as well. I'm skipping all this. This is all fluff to me. Intends to explore a path to becoming a validator. I like that, but that's something I would have assumed they were already doing, if I'm being straight with you. And I think they probably were. This is just a signal to Klaytn that, hey, we're serious about this relationship. Again, contrast that with the take that people have been, this is a threat to end the relationship. What me and our boy, Metal Green Giant, we're worried about here. So you don't become a validator of a chain that you're going to abandon. I am abandoning Ethereum despite supporting it in the past. If anyone can tell me who said that on Twitter, inspiring the meme, first person to drop it into chat gets one of each colored egg. All right. Yes, I'm abandoning Ethereum despite supporting it in the past. That is the quote I'm going for the giveaway. All right. So to this end, all right, I covered that. Blah, 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 blah. We strongly believe in the growth. Yeah, we love you. We love each other. And bringing our partnerships to the Klaytn network. So this one, I wanted to highlight this out of this paragraph because this ties up to what I highlighted up. Scroll wheel, what are you doing to me? What I said up here. I was talking about, hey, we brought you partnerships. Layer 0. One of the biggest things I've heard of ever. I hear it all over the place, even outside of DeFi Kingdoms. Layer 0 is big. Synapse. I first ran into Synapse degenerating out on, Optimism and Arbitrum before they had tokens. These are not insignificant partnerships. And DFK down here is talking about, hey, stay with us. We'll bring new partnerships. What new partnerships are we talking about? We're talking about Swipelux. We're talking about Halliday. Speaking of Halliday, speaking of Ogre's incorrect guess here, catch KP this Friday interviewing Halliday, including their CTO, Griffin, who I had the pleasure of talking to a couple weeks ago, and their CEO, just one E. I stuttered. I'm sorry, everyone. And the KP's got them Friday night. I'm looking forward to it. No, it's none. No one's got it right yet. For the record. Yes, I am abandoning Ethereum despite supporting it in the past. Yes. It's from the peak of the last bull run. If no one gets it, I'll be really surprised. Actually, might have to. Hey, if no one gets it during the live chat, I'll say something at the end of the video, and any YouTube listeners, can leave a comment. Kupo. I take it back, YouTube listeners. Kupo wins one of each egg from me. Yes, it was in fact Juzu. I hope I said that close to right. Maybe I didn't. To abandon something, Ogre, you must first support it. No, that's not a diss at you. That's a diss at our boy Gary G, who I shouldn't. Yeah, Goblin Gensler. Anyway. All right, and yeah, so this is what I was talking about, highlighting the bridge and messaging providers. I beat that horse. We're moving into the next paragraph. Boom. Boom. Core, building together, talking about the raffle system. We want to integrate that with other projects. Hey, you got games on Klaytn? Guess what? We got something that games can do. Raffles. Sure. I saw a tweet the other day saying, how is a raffle ticket utility? And, I thought about it for a while, and in real life, you have to pay for raffle tickets. So there must be some utility to getting it for free. And yep, Bob Nothing. Okay, I knew someone wasn't paying attention, which is fair, because I was like, yeah, I thought this was an obvious one. Now I'm worried that people, don't get me when I'm saying memes out loud. But I'm glad to know you got that. As noted above, our order book style deck, so bizarre. It's launched. It's live. DFK chain only so far. Klaytn soon. Klaytn soon. Data analytics platform, love that. I would love to know more about this. I think they've hinted at it or talked about it obliquely on AMAs, but I never really thought about it in these terms of like a custom data and analytics platform. It's really sexy language they use there. Makes it sound good, as opposed to just, yeah, we got the API guys working. They're doing good stuff. Co-marketing, consulting. Who would not want to consult with the people who've launched 300 smart contracts on the chain, accounting for 60% of the gas? Come on. This is a lot that DeFi Kingdoms, Kingdom Studios can bring to the table for Klaytn, involving not just products, but also partnerships and money that is in the form of gas fees, which DFK is so clearly delivering. All right, so now I want to get down really to this section, okay? The actual details of the proposal. All right. Where it breaks out how that $1.5 million is going out. 1 second. I have to cough and mute myself. All right. That was polite of you to indulge me there. Okay. In exchange for $15 million, or I wish, $1.5 million, Kingdom Studios is proposing 4 milestone objectives, dividing the $1.5 million into 1/4, which will be paid out at the accomplishment of each objective. So, why is DeFi Kingdoms asking for $1.5 million? That is so much money. Why would they need that much? Oh my God. First off, in the world of operating a business, or in the world of personal finances, let's start there. $1.5 million is probably is a lot to all of us. Wow, I would shit myself if my bank account showed 7 figures one day. Like, oh my God, that would be cool. Except not my bank account, right, KP? We're talking about my wallet. That would be sweet if my crypto self-custody wallet showed a big, 7-figure ETH balance. That would be awesome. But when it comes to businesses, that's not that much. So if you think about it this way, if you pay 20 employees $75,000 a year, which I feel like is like a fair, I don't know, but I feel like that's a fair kind of just example for illustrative purposes. So if you're to pay 20 people $75,000 salary, you burn through that amount in 1 year. Salaries make annual numbers like this tiny, teensy tiny. Like, this is not a shitload of money to begin with. First off, let's just dispel that notion that at a business to business scale, asking for a $1.5 million grant is a lot of money. It depends. Everything depends on context, but I was surprised to see a reaction that, oh my God, that is such a large amount of money, because my initial reaction was, oh my God, that is such a small amount of money. Like, that is not much. That is a rounding error for some programs. Okay. Like, all right. Disabuse of that notion. Now, the milestones. Another valid concern that I've seen is that the milestones appear very easy. And as a player, it's hard for me to get excited about these things because they're things that I either already have available to me on DFK chain, already was expecting, for example, with the expeditions there on the third indented bullet point, or achievements even on the fourth one. These are things that, hey, Kingdom Studios, guys, you've been promising us this for like a year now. Achievements and expeditions, you've already been blowing that smoke a few months. What's the deal here? Why aren't you throwing anything new? Why isn't player versus player combat on here? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, good questions. First, let's address them in turn. When you are initiating a proposal like this, you ask high and you offer low. That's what savvy, sophisticated negotiators expect you to do. And so if you were to ask like a not so high reasonable amount that you would actually love to walk away with, but it's closer to your bottom like walk away point, and you were to offer a lot, well, negotiations are going to happen and you're going to move from your starting position. That is just how it works. It's very rare that you just walk in with your starting position in a business-to-business negotiation of any kind and you get what you asked for. Like, no, you come in intending to compromise, and both sides engage in what is called puffery. If you picture an animal who is fighting off a rival, picture like maybe a peacock. These birds are very good at it. They show their wings. And they're like, look how big I am. Oh, I'm huge. Look at me. You're scared, right? Or the lizards, the frill lizards. You know what I'm talking about? I'm scary. That's puffery. Both sides engage in puffery. And so, yeah, where they're saying the puffery here is that, these things that we are already planning on building are worth you giving us $1.5 million. Like, let's take the bazaar, for example. I bet if the grant got approved tomorrow, they could launch the bazaar the next day and pocket that 375 grand like that. And that is the kind of milestone that you are trying to set. And if I'm, being a bit more literal about it, if I was looking at 12-month completion time, I would not offer any milestone that was currently projected for completion outside of 6 months. Anything. I would not. Now, they might have different strategies. I'm not saying, oh my God, everything on this list is coming in the next 6 months. That's not at all what I'm saying. Because the reason you would want to have something that you were that confident would be done soon is because there are always unanticipated delays. So you don't actually anticipate the unanticipated, but you build in a buffer in your puffery for the unanticipated delays. And so I would imagine that 9 months is the absolute cap of where I would think the team is currently projecting finishing all of these things if they're putting a proposal out to have it done in 12. So I hope you followed that. If you don't, of course, drop questions. With respect to, why isn't PvP on this list? I think the answer to that one is actually a lot more simple than people realize. Is that PvP, in whatever iteration it happens, it's not going to be very chain unique at all. It's going to be an experience that I think you can initiate a transaction, you're sent to a server, right? A typical Web 2 server. You fight your battle with your enemy, and then that server sends data back to the blockchain, and bada bang. You don't really interact with the chain. So it is not something that is exclusive to Klaytn. So we don't want to be throwing it out as a milestone, because why would Klaytn fund a non-exclusive PvP platform, right? I mean, sure, they may be indirectly doing it by funding these other objectives, but that is not what you're going to put in the proposal. All right, so multiple people are saying that Klaytn requested this. That wasn't my understanding. My understanding is that Klaytn put out a grants program, the pilot program. So Did they specifically request DFK to do this? I don't know. Team wants to correct me. I always love talking to you guys. So if you want to correct me, please. But I thought it was just that there was a general call that, hey, we have grant money. Come tell us why you deserve it, right? And so I assume that everything in this actual proposal was put there by the DFK team as a negotiation step. Now, if that assumption is wrong, you can just throw away a lot of what I've said as trash, just for the record. I will say that candidly. So yeah, I think, boom, all these are in the near horizon because you don't promise to get something done in 12 months that you think is actually going to take you 12 months. I think we see this thing get revised in response to questions like this one that we see here from Eco. While it's a significant portions of the transactions and the gas usage, we're concerned that focusing on a single project might lead to overdependence. Hey, that's actually a valid concern. There might be a centralization problem. What if our chain is so dependent on you for gas that a single bug in your program ruins the marketability of our chain? It'd be like the inverse harmony situation. So it's a valid concern. I bet they talked that through. The proposal mentions pain points related to computation costs. We strongly agree with this. Oh, that's really good to hear. I love to hear that. See, so I don't know who this Eco is, but the way they're using the word we makes me think that they are either involved with the Klaytn team somehow or advising them in some way. So I really like to hear that. I really like these. I think we're going to see a lot of things like this. And in addition to we're going to see, there's going to be other just communications directly between Klaytn and Kingdom Studios about this. And this Google document right here is going to be refined and honed into an actual proposal where both sides compromise. I bet we see this go down. How much? I don't know. I'm not gonna do Klaytn's job for them. I'm not gonna tell them what they should drop the ball to. I know what I would throw back. Community would not like it if I were negotiating on behalf of Klaytn. But I know what I would throw back. And it would be like, oh my God, you're hurting my feelings by offering me so little money. No, I expect you to come back and tell me that I need to up it. That's how these things work. So yeah, any other questions? I'm going to run through the chat a little bit more. Just want to leave the conclusion up here though while I do that because it was awesome. Wow, you guys chatted a lot while I was doing that rant. I knew that one. Yeah. So Kupo also, yeah, just hit me up on Discord or Twitter with your OX. I will send you one of each egg. Thank you for knowing the memes, man. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to this, Bob. Oh, Druid 72. Yep. Ogre Abroad knows what's up. 1.5 mil goes fast. Light, what's up? Light, good to see you. Marketing also crazy expensive. That they are, especially when you're getting tickets from multiple people and you're not a speaker, right? Like, ooh, 1.5. Guys are just you are my preachers, and I am all of your choir. How's the boys doing tonight? Light, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good. Keep the benchmarks easy. See, man, it's crazy. It's like some people in the community get it. Personally happy to see the PvE. I'm also very happy to see PvE. And what gets me really excited about PvE is that, like, I think an implicit expectation that many of us have had, but I've not really heard a lot vocalized, is the PvE experience has got to be somewhat, not like different mechanically, but there's got to be different art and lore and quests between both of the realms. And the fact that the PvE is on here as like an exclusive Serendale offering suggests to me that is in fact how the team is conceptualizing it, which is in line with their general policies of not cutting corners and doing it big, doing it right, and commanding our Legion fun. So yeah, I agree that PvE unique. Yeah, Bob, wow, already there. Yeah, already. Yeah, you guys follow me. Done before. Yes. Yeah. No, I think you're totally right about that. Like, I think you are totally right about that. I think my 6-month estimate may have been even like too long, but I didn't want to be too crazy. Finding ghost development that goes for all chain projects. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We don't want Klaytn to be throwing money at ghost projects. We want them to be throwing money at projects that are gonna improve the chain, improve liquidity on the chain, because people would rather go, from app to app than chain to chain, and that's just a fact. And so the more people on Klaytn chain, the more people that DeFi Kingdoms has easy access to, and the more people who are already familiar with a lot of the onboarding steps that make Web3 so difficult, which Halliday will hopefully solve, but there's still going to be, Web3 degens. That's still a market that I think is worth, not closing the funnel. So yeah, I like other apps. I want Klaytn to invest in good apps that are going to bring good collaborations, maybe other games that will want to use the raffle ticket system, as they said in the proposal. Yep, I agree with this. If they're smart, they make PvP cross-platform. I've noticed that in the videos when I re-listen to them, I will just pull up a comment, say, yeah, I agree with that, and then move on. And then it's like, if I'm not watching the video, I have no idea what just happened. So let me know if reading comments out loud is annoying or time-consuming. But I think it's something I'm doing as an attempt to improve myself. Plus, Klaytn requested this, covered that. Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? Not much, Brovia. 1.5x speed. Go back. Listen to me at chipmunk style. It's going to be semi worth it. Pass. Got you with my in and out. I haven't had time to go to my fridge yet. Thank you, Light. Thank you, Brovia and Bevia. Yeah, no, I'm also more of a PvE player than a PvPer, but that said, like, it's a marginal more. I game, and sometimes it's like, well, I've beaten this dungeon 100 times in the last week. I'm just going to grind PvP, but I do it both. Yeah, making an army of both PvE and PvP, baby. Got to have all aspects of DFK to win big. I agree with that, and don't forget crafting, because that's what's going to enhance both of those sets of heroes. Ooh. One thing that got me interested in crafting is like they seem to hint a few AMAs ago that gear wasn't necessarily going to be like stat based, like you get a plus 40 agility, right? And that's all it does. And I'm thinking about the pets and their bonuses and what they do, and it's like they take a specific attribute and enhance it in some way. And so imagine armor like a spear, where it actually, instead of giving just a raw stat buff, it adds an effect to one of your class abilities. So like say it's for a dragoon and it says your ultimate ability, in addition to what it normally does, also does X. And I think gear like that could be absolutely wild. I love full ownership, Beeve. That's why I'm in DeFi. I'm in DeFi because when I used to play WoW and get a good drop, I wished I could sell it for real money without breaking the terms of service. Because I was a little kid and I thought breaking the terms of service would actually land me in jail. Ha! What did I know? Wish I'd done it. Ooh, no, see, but the pets already are gear. So that would be like gearception, because I'd have gear on my gear. Yo, I heard you like gear, so I put gear in your gear so you could have gears while you gear. I'm Exhibit. I'm here all week. Anyway, all right. So that was the Klaytn governance proposal breakdown. And I hope that I made everyone in the community just a little bit more frightened and nervous about the future, because that was certainly my intention there. Now, I am going to pull up something, because there has been talk in the community about, a wallet. This wallet has been selling. It's been selling a lot. It's been selling so much, it's driving the price down of everything. Oh my gosh, what is going to happen to DFK? That's what I've heard. And so, without commenting on the price really, because these things just kind of happen, I want to show you all a tool that I use in crypto called DeBank. Now I'm getting my wallet connected right now and I'm making sure it's on the right one. So I apologize for boring screen on the right. I will be signed up and set up in a second here. I hope. Can I refresh? Can I connect? Okay. Log in. Verify. Okay. So here, I believe you now see my pathetic. This is one of my burner DFK wallets here. This app is called DeBank. Now, what DeBank does, I will just duplicate this tab to move around a little bit. If we go to home, no, the home is just my account. That's new. It used to have like a feed. Well, that's weird. I guess they moved that to stream. Oh, they moved some stuff around, but it doesn't matter. I never really used the feed before. The main thing we want up here is the search bar. Now, there has been a wallet. People have identified him as something. What was it? Druid72, I think, is the username that they got going on in game. And this person has been unloading clips and clips and clips and clips of Jewel. When will they stop? Well, there's a way we can figure this out. So I have the wallet address because that is the one bit of research I actually had done like earlier before the morning. And so I found the wallet address because I'd seen people posting about it on Twitter. I didn't do any like active searching to find the wallet address. But having found it on Twitter, I can now take it, plug it into DeBank, and when I search here, I get this guy. And now, I see I confirm this is the wallet address that I had pasted. This person is sitting on $5 million, almost 6, across Ethereum and DFK chains. They have 633 grand on DFK chain, of which $540,000 or $540,405.97. Here, I'll zoom in a little. Yeah, is Jewel. They have a little under 5 million Jewel remaining in their wallet. Now, what have they been doing? Let's look at transactions here. Looks like they've been doing something called a scam transaction. But 20 hours ago, they sold 3 clips of 50,000 Jewel. Bam, bam, bam. 6 grand each. For, 6 grand each. I just said that. And as you see here, their price is going down as they do it each time because they are just dumping hefty into that liquidity pool. And if I was worried that this person was going to continue this behavior of selling a lot of tokens, it might behoove me not to buy just while he is selling, because that is literally just being his exit liquidity. Whoever this is, I have no idea who this is, and I cast no moral judgment on them for selling Jewel. For the record, I'm just saying we can see that this is happening. And if you really wanted to do the research from the front end, you could look at the token contract address, which you can pull from DFK's Discord. So I'm not going to do it because I can just click the link here. But you can look at all of the transactions for just by Jewel. And so you see here, this is all of it. They've been doing it for the last few days, just unloading clips. Load more. When did they start? Let's find when they started unloading these clips. Maybe kind of slowly started in July with 20,000 clips. Oh no. They've been doing it. So yeah, pretty much since July, they've just been unloading. And then we see a big gap here. March, they do a little tiny bit of Jewel spend. That's funny. But right here, boom, beginning July 21st. So something happened to this person that they needed a lot of liquidity on July 21st. They've been selling, pulling, withdrawing thousands of dollars, more. So what's a boy to do? Well, you either keep an eye on this wallet, wait till it runs out, or till it changes its behavior in some other way that indicates that it is either coming back or done. And that's something happened. It's called a woman. Fisto, did I just out your wallet here? Is that you? I get it now. Not everyone's gonna get this joke, but Fisto, I get it now. This makes a lot more sense, knowing that it's you. It's not Fisto, guys. Don't get your pitchforks out. Big liquidity requirements, indeed. And yeah, and if you don't even want to bother thinking about it, I mean, in the end, I do believe this is just going to be like, whatever, blip on the radar. This is a single person selling their clip. And even if they sell all their clip, sure, it's going to be painful on the price for a while. But this isn't like a structural kind of selling where this guy he's always getting new jewel to then keep selling. This is just a person unloading their bag. And no matter what market you're in, when one big whale is unloading their bag, it's uncomfortable for all of the minnows who stick around. So, that's just, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to show off DeBank here, which is hard to use zoomed in. You're lucky I love you all. But yeah, so going back to my home here, you can see I have a nice ripe $826 on DFK chain by comparison on this wallet. Was the other wallet me? No, it was not. It was not me. I wish. Because then I would stop selling. I would be buying, dude. People are crazy. There was one other thing. Here, let me actually just go ahead and do that. I'm going to go pull the DFK tiers contract from the DeFi Kingdoms Discord. Where are you? Scrolling. Oof, so many contracts. Holy shit. This is absurd. All right, we're going to stop at Moksha runes because I found those. It'll do, pig. Token. So here, I've plugged in the contract for Moksha runes. DeBank is not, it doesn't guess whether the profile that I'm looking at belongs to a human being or a smart contract bot or something. So there is no wallet associated with the Moksha Rune trades. This is weird. Token Swift Thistle. I may have copied the wrong one. Swift Thistle. That's not right. That's not what I grabbed. I grabbed Moksha Rune. That's not what copied and pasted, though. Yeah, it is. Uh-oh. Weird. I thought it would show like the transactions of that token. No, I'm not going to lie to you. This is the worst training session I've ever given anyone. Don't hire me for training on anything. I do not offer tutoring. I am not the brown gent. I am, in fact, an orange fish. All right. That's all I got. I had some other stuff to talk about, but it's been an hour. I really, really like that Klaytn deep dive. Thank you all for the great engagement there. Just on some other things, I would love some bizarre analytics. Bizarre analytics. Ha. Oh, maybe the problem was that I was on Arbitrum. No, that shouldn't matter for DeBank. That shouldn't matter. Why was I on Arbitrum, you ask? It's because I registered my freaking Dragons Crossing heroes last night, all 4 of them. I got 2 Rangers, a Warrior, and a Mage. I'm gonna not be a profitable person in the game, but I'm playing it. Grady got me hyped. Doug Hype got me hyped. I'm playing it. Anyway, so I would love to see some kind of analytics where I could go say, hey, if I wanted to sell Mokshas at 8 Joule, how many would need to get bought off of the current open orders before it triggered my order? That would be an awesome analytic tool that I would love to see, because, this is a beautiful layout for what it is. It's beautiful. No hate on this layout. It's just that if I'm trying to be like one of those sneaky, conniving people and list something just that I just think, hey, there's a chance someone just comes and drops a clip of 100 Mokshas. Where do I want to price that so I could catch like the 91 through 10, not 91 through 100, and get the most expensive piece of that sale? And similarly, on the other side, where could I, put a stink bid so that when someone comes in and is dropping 50,000 gold eggs, I get them for, 500 DFK gold? I would love to see just, something like that, where I could see just the number of open orders between, I guess the strike price is what I would call it, but that doesn't seem right at all. That's options. Between the last price, there we go, and how many open orders between the last price and the price I want to set. That would be data I'd love to see somewhere. And then I'm sure other people in the community have a lot of thoughts there as well about other, ways to use data about the bazaar. Oh, that's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good tip there from Bob. On using DeBank, I assume. Does that show heroes as well? I think it's a good question. If I go back, so it's saying Harmony here. So he has over 1,000 DFK heroes according to this. Good question, Ogre. But only 3 results actually. So that seems like that was a lie when it says current collection ranking. Oh, that's a ranking, not an amount. Okay, so he has 3 heroes. Shit, man. He's got his little caster lineup. Wizard, Priest, Sage coming in. You're gonna win all the games with that and sell the token down. Sarge, you gotta fix your strategy, man. These heroes, this is not a winning combo, buddy. Cries in poor. Did I break the interwebs? I think I broke my brain trying to use the interwebs. Kupo. Okay. So if I'm understanding you, Bob, DeBank just doesn't support DFK chain. Well, that makes me happier than, I mean, not really, but it's good to know. Actually, it doesn't make me happier. Just got here, SI, go another hour. My wife would kill me. Sorry, I'll show this can of chicken. Oh, that's bizarre. Moksha run contract address. So okay. Appreciate you all educating me. I really do, actually. That is not sarcastic, sardonic, ironic, or any other version of those words that you prefer. DCX season hype. Yeah, Ephisto, season 3 started yesterday of DCX. I'm pretty excited on it. I just was watching Grady stream and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Fine, I already have the heroes. And sure enough, I got a spell book, and it's I got this trap ability for rangers that I know Kung Fu was saying is, in his opinion, as one of the better Dragons Crossing players according to the community, that the ability I got is going to be OP. So I had a pretty lucky day. I'm glad I decided to play. Do I just sell it though? That's the question. People make profits in crypto. No, Candor Gander, there's an assumption here. You're making an assumption. And that assumption is that any of these sales are profitable, but they probably are. I mean, if I had to guess. If I had to. Oh yeah, order book analytics looks good. Just registered 24 heroes. Heck yeah, Bob nothing gets it. He's down. All right. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me today. I did have other like broader ecosystem stuff I want to talk about. Like, is the PayPal stablecoin a problem? Oh, no, centralization. But I can talk to that next time. It's not a big deal. And what was the other thing I had? Oh, hype to one gritty seed. If you made it this far through the video, thank you for letting me riff off your memes on Twitter. I've been enjoying it. So shout outs to you. Shout out to Crypto Tro for having Mythic Squad on last night and loving seeing the new content creators. Shout out to KP. KP had me on his stream last night. I talked about a conference that we're going to soon and just the inevitability of both crypto itself and crypto regulation. Am I a contradiction for believing both are going to be the future? I don't believe so. I believe it's a fact. Other than that, though, I got no shouts. I got no shots other than that. Shout out Mythic Squad, sponsored by Mythic Squad. This whole stream wouldn't be available if it weren't for Mythic Squad. And, that's only 10% true, but all the same, Mythic Squad is what makes me get up in the morning sometimes. What? No, honey. No, I didn't say that. No, sorry. Sorry about that. And on that note, I love you. I love you all. It's tinfoil time. I'm going to exit. I'm picking out a song to play, and I'll leave you with that. Which one, though? Ooh. Let's see how you react to this one. No, that's not the one I want. Ooh. That is not at all the one I want. I'm glad I didn't just put that on. Christ, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. On the top, on the top, on the top, on the top, on the beat, 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 incompetent cop on the beat. On the beat, on the beat, incompetent cop on the beat. On the beat, on the beat, incompetent cop on the beat. On the beat, on the beat, incompetent cop on the beat. Say the real market is right on compliance. However, exists against incompetent cop on the beat. Cop on the beat, on the beat, on the beat.